planned an event at the LA County Fair. Well, the summer before my senior year of high school, I got an internship at a nonprofit organization called SEEM. Their purpose is to help African Americans in the business and like economic world by supporting local Black-owned businesses. And every year they plan an event, a 3-day weekend event at the LA County Fair. And that summer I got to help them plan it. One of my main jobs with this was working with sponsors, and we had like several booths. So we had at these booths like different local businesses, and we also had like activities for children because it was a family affair. And with this internship, I worked directly under the marketing director, so I learned a lot about the marketing side of a business, which is really cool. This experience, I would say, greatly impacted me because it not only taught me a lot about like the business side of things and how to plan an event from start to finish, but it also taught me what I want to do for the rest of my life. So as I said, I learned how to execute and plan an event from start to finish, and this event was at the LA County Fair, as I said. And I worked with sponsors and companies for this event, and one of my main jobs was reaching out to them and asking if they wanted to participate again this year. So my mentor gave me a list of all of our previous companies we had worked with in the past, and my job was to reach out asking them if they wanted to participate again this year. Now, going into this, I was 17 years old, so I hadn't had much experience when it came to interacting with companies and setting up business emails. So it was a bit of a learning curve at first, but eventually I got the hang of it, and I ended up being one of the main communicators between us and the other companies that we were working with. And I ended up sending out like contracts, different contracts to them because we obviously needed to make sure that we were all on the same page and that they knew what was expected of us and we knew what was expected of them. I obviously didn't make these contracts, but I did send them out and I gave all the edits to my team from the different companies. That was really cool. Another thing that I did was I planned activities for this event. So it was a family event. So some of the activities we had was a coloring station for little kids. We also had a face painting station as well. And then another thing I did was I planned the schedule for this event. So each day we needed MCs, we needed speakers, and we needed some sort of entertainment. On Friday, we expected there to be more of like a younger crowd, late teens, young adults. So we made sure to cater to that. On Saturday, we expected it to be more of like a family affair. So that's when I had the kid-friendly activities that day. And then on Sunday, we actually had more of like a gospel service, which is really cool. As I said, this internship made me realize what I want to do for the rest of my life. And that was I want to be head of marketing at some awesome company one day. So through this internship, I worked under the head of marketing at their company, and she taught me a lot about the importance of marketing and how if you don't have a marketing team at your company, you're not going to be very successful. But basically, her life was just really cool, and I got to see what she did day to day at the business and just what she even does outside of work as well. So that was really cool. But one of the biggest things she taught me was how to market, obviously, an event. And so I did a lot of like promotional things, like making posts and flyers for this event. And one of the main things that she said was to make sure that these posts were clean, but also in keeping with the tone of the event. So I made sure to have a cohesive theme throughout these posts. So what we decided on was to have a blue, purple, and green color scheme throughout to make sure it all matched. Another thing that we put on these flyers was we made sure to incorporate some of the main companies that we were going to be working with. Some of the more well-known companies like McDonald's, Wells Fargo, Chase that were sponsoring us. So we made sure to put that on there. But in order to have these companies on our flyers, we needed permission, legal permission to use their logo. So that was another place where the contract actually came in handy, and I got to see like the legal side of things through that. Another thing we put on these flyers was we made sure to highlight the entertainment that we were going to have. So we put some of the bigger, well-known names on these flyers to try and draw more of that crowd out. Through this experience, I learned a lot of valuable lessons. Not only did I learn like the business side of things and how to run a business and how to plan an event start to finish, because as I said, I was 17 going into this. I hadn't really been exposed to much of like a real world type job. So I learned how to like conduct myself in a business setting because I was working with these like middle-aged adults. So it was a little weird going into it at first, but eventually I got the hang of it. But of course, one of the biggest takeaways was that I learned what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I want to do something in marketing, and I want to be a director at some great company one day. To end off, I leave this quote by Eleanor Roosevelt that says, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their future."
Couple of times.
Right, right.
And so that's where that doesn't work real well. Your hook. Very first thing you say, what is that?
I said, "Have you ever planned an event at the LA County Fair?"
Let that sit for a minute.
Okay.
I'd say, have you ever planned a major event,
Okay.
or one that involved thousands of people or something like that? Because most people would say no. Slow down that. You're getting the idea there. Didn't get much of a preview. Body's pretty good. Delivery's really good. I don't know how you stand still. You just stand still. I mean, it's like your feet are in cement. I mean, you don't move. And you're one of those unusual people that can do it. So the basic thing I tell you is slow down just a little bit, because your organization's really good in this. And you've got some really good stuff, but you're going so fast. At times, it's hard to keep up with you. So just slow down just a little bit. But thank you for that. All right. Yatani, you are up. Save the best for last. Well, what did you do this weekend?
On Friday, I went to the Blue March Madness thing.
Yeah.
Just to see my friend perform, because she's on the step team. I did eat a lot of burgers that night.
Yeah.
Because my friends were like, let's go to every single band and get another burger. So we did that.
Okay.
And then on Saturday, those same friends made shrimp fried rice.
Oh, nice.
It was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wonderful. So you had a good time eating this weekend.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, I needed it.
Now, did you ride any of the rides?
No.
Probably after eating all those hamburgers, that was a good idea not to.
Yeah. We got there late, but also like, I don't like Ferris wheels, and I wanted to get on the swing, but my friends are like, no. They put this up in 2 seconds, we might die. So I was like, okay, fine. I guess.
Yeah, I was looking at some of the people that were putting it up, and I thought, it could be a little sketchy.
Yeah, my luck, the thing with the whole just fell apart. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, Murphy's Law. What happened? Well, I was on this swing, and you can hear that one at the emergency room. All right, well, are you ready to